everybody, today I wanted to show you how to do these layered keychains like this. You've probably seen this one around. This is one of the ones like we did on the car vent clip video. What this basically is a 3-inch scallop circle. This is a 2-inch scallop circle on top. And this right here is an opal vinyl and then a paisley vinyl. And then the glitter that you see on this one is actually loose glitter. So we're going to make 2 of them today. One's going to be with loose glitter and one is going to be with transparent glitter. So you can see both options. And then we're also going to resin it so you can kind of see how to do it with 2 pieces like this. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and work with the one that needs to be glittered. And we are going to be using decoupage today, the decoupage and loose glitter method. And so here are acrylics. So again, you got a 3-inch scallop and then a 2-inch circle, no hole. We're not going to be glittering the scallop. We're going to just leave that clear and put the vinyl on that. But we are going to be glittering the 2-inch circle. So what we're going to do is go ahead and remove this backing paper. If you're new to acrylics, the acrylics that are shipped from us come with this protective paper on it. And it's basically just to protect the acrylic in transit until you're ready to use it. Keeps it nice and clean and all of that jazz. Okay, so we got our backing off. This is our decoupage. I have it in the squeeze bottle because I'm so bad for whenever I'm using it out of this, putting my glittery brush in this and ruining my whole container. So I like to put it in these squeeze bottles, and these are actually available on the website if you're interested. And then we're going to be using a foam brush, and then we're going to be using raindrop glitter today, which is a holographic. It's super pretty. Okay, we just need a little bit of decoupage, nothing crazy. And you're going to start from the center and work your way out. Whenever you start from the center and work your way out, it's a lot easier to keep the sides of your acrylic nice and clean so that you don't have to go back and scrape it with an X-acto knife or anything like that. And you don't want big gloppy areas or anything like that. You just want a nice, smooth, as even as you can get it, coat like so. Okay, so from here, we're going to actually add our glitter. One of the biggest things about using loose glitter is to not be stingy with it. Put a lot. If you're noticing that you can see straight through your glitter, it's usually just because you're not putting enough or you're not working quick enough in your Mod Podge or your decoupage. However you're adding it, it's just drying too quickly. Okay, so what we're going to do is just push that down into that decoupage. This just helps where you don't have to do so many layers. Normally the decoupage only needs about 10 minutes to dry before you can do your next coat. So what we're going to do is just move this aside, and we're going to actually go ahead and work on the one that we're using the transparent glitter. So we'll let that dry. Okay, and then we're going to get our other pieces. So like I said before, a 3-inch scallop circle and a 2-inch circle no hole. The scallop circle is one of the few that it really doesn't matter what side it's on. It's pretty symmetrical. Okay, so we are going to apply this is a transparent glitter vinyl. And what I used is whenever you get the acrylics are going to come with 2 pieces of the file. You're going to have an inset, which is slightly smaller than the acrylic. And then you're going to have a large black piece that's part of the file that's the exact size of the acrylic. Anytime you're using that large back piece, be prepared. You're probably going to have to trim it with an X-acto knife. This is not the large back piece. This is the one with the inset. So what that means is we'll have a little bit border of clear acrylic all the way around. Okay, so I'll go ahead and remove this backing. For this one, we're not applying anything on the back side of the acrylic. We're only going to apply the transparent and then a few other things to the front, which I'll explain all of that. And anytime you take that when you're taking that backing paper off, you want to try not to touch the actual acrylic as much as possible. Keep it clean. Okay, and then this is our transparent glitter. I already have transfer tape on this, so we're just going to remove this backing paper. And we're going to apply this onto our acrylic. I like to just look at the top and the bottom. Once that's lined up, it pretty much gets everything lined up. And we're going to use our squeegee and burnish to get it all adhered down. And then we're just going to roll this part down. The transparent glitter vinyl is a permanent adhesive vinyl that's glittery on both sides. The silver and the gold look exactly the same on both sides. The colored sheets of transparent glitter will be boldly colored on one side, and the other side will be silvery but still colored. Especially when you hold it up to the light, you'll be able to see the colors really well. Okay, so we have that. And then what we're going to put over this is actually, this is black and white striped floral, colorful blossoms. I think that's what it's called. Let me make sure I'm not telling y'all the wrong thing. Colorful rose, black, white, striped, colorful rose. Okay. And I don't want to apply the S yet. So I cut it all together to save vinyl, but what I'm actually going to do is only apply the scallop part, but not the S yet. The S is going to go on top of our 2-inch acrylic. So I'm just going to cut that S out real quick. I only did it to save vinyl. You can cut it separately if you want, but you know, printed vinyl is expensive. So if you can get it all in one spot rather than wasting it, it's definitely a good thing to do. So I'm just cutting this S out, because I'm going to apply that later. All right. So we have our scallop, circle, and we're going to apply that on top of here. And this is also the inset piece. So this will line up with the piece that I already applied. All right. And all of our printed vinyl has the air egress technology. So what that means is it makes it a lot easier to not have any bubbles. Say if you applied this and you really didn't like it, you could lift it and actually reapply it because it has that technology. You have to be careful not to stretch it or anything, but you do have that ability with our particular printed vinyl. And this is the full sheet. If y'all want to see what the full sheet of this print looks like. So on the bottom of our print, you can see the names. So this one's black, white, striped, colorful rose. So that's what this vinyl is. I cut this little section out. All right. So that is pretty much done. Now we just need to add our 2-inch acrylic. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove this backing paper. Okay, so for this, we actually cut out, this is yellow opal vinyl to go with it. This is a polka dot circle frame. You can purchase this download on the website. This is what the yellow opal looks like before it's cut. It looks very yellow in some directions and then very pink and green. It's like a color shift opal vinyl. So this is cut at exactly 1.9 inches. 1.9 inches by 1.9 inches. And this is going to go on our 2-inch circle. Be careful with the circle dots, they like to come off sometimes if you haven't burnished well, so just go slow for that. All right. And then this is an S, and this is in a font called Pharmacy. And this is right at, I want to say 1.4 inches. Every letter is different. So anytime you're going to put a letter in between, you just want to put it in your software and size it to fit within this 1.9 inch circle. All right, so there's that. So this is going to go on here like so. Okay. So this one, you're going to be able to see the silver glitter through it. So we're not actually going to glue this one. We're going to use the resin when we resin it to adhere it. So there's that. So pretty. And this is going to go here like that. Now we could glue it, but I don't want to be able to see the glue through the clear because we're using the transparent glitter. I just want to be able to use one piece. So we're not actually going to glue it. When we resin it, that'll actually attach it. So this one is pretty much done besides resin. Before we resin it, we are going to poke through this hole. So this is a bead reamer. And we're just going to go through it like that. And twist. And that basically just sands off any extra and gives it a nice clean finish. And then it makes it where you don't have to try to line up a hole, cut it with it, or anything like that. So there's that. So now we're just going to resin it. Super pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our loose glitter one. So here's that. What we're going to do is just shake off the extra. And that's pretty dry, but we're going to go ahead and do another coat. All right, we're going to use our same method, a little bit of decoupage, and the same foam brush. If while you're doing this, your glitter wants to just wipe off, you need to wait because that means it's not dry enough. It should be pretty dry whenever you're doing it. And if you're getting it on the side, try to wipe that off because you know glitter will stick to everything. Also, when you're doing this part, the second one, you'll probably need more decoupage than the first coat because the glitter will soak it in. All right. That looks like good coverage. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and put some more glitter. And don't worry about using too much. We can save all this glitter after. Same thing. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a minute. And then while we're waiting for that to sit, we'll get the rest of the acrylic ready for this particular keychain. All right, So we got the same 3-inch scallop circle. This one is going to be a white marble with a white opal. So here's the white opal. Here's the white marble. Same thing, I cut this on top of it, so we're just gonna cut this apart because I'm gonna put that on the actual 2-inch circle, not on the 3-inch monogram part. And like I said, you don't have to do it this way, but I'm sure you want to save as much printed vinyl as possible. Or any vinyl, at that matter. Okay, and then this is what the white marble looks like before it's cut. Super pretty. And then this is the white opal as a full sheet. It looks so blue and purple, but it changes so much. And it's hard to show in the camera. Here, let me give it a different angle. Okay, there you go, white opal. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna remove this backing paper. We're gonna apply the white marble. All right, that's it for that one until we get our finished glittery one, which we're gonna give that a few more minutes. I like to give it about 10 to 15 minutes, so we'll fast forward real quick. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and resin this one to give this just a few more minutes to be extra, extra safe. And then we are going to finish the other one. Okay, so we're gonna UV resin because it's super quick and easy. I'm a big fan of both UV resin and epoxy resin. If I'm doing a lot of keychains, I always do epoxy resin. If I'm just doing 1 or 2, then I usually do UV resin. Okay, so let's resin this beauty. All right, my UV light is one of the 24, 48 watt ones, so it can switch. You just want to have it set on 48. 36 or higher should be fine though, if you're new to getting a UV light. Okay, and like I said before, this one is not glued down, so we're just going to use our resin to hold it in place. Okay, so this is the UV resin we're going to use today. And I use a silicone brush to apply it. Now it's a little bit different applying resin to multiple layers like this. So I'll just show y'all how I do it. And hopefully it helps. Okay. So we're going to start with the top piece. We're just going to apply some resin to the top. And we're just going to drag it to the edge. This top piece is naturally going to want to stay in place because of the way we cut our vinyl. We cut that circle out of it for this 2-inch to fit straight into. So it just helps it stay in place. And don't forget if anything like overflows on this, because it doesn't really matter on a layered one like this. You don't want the back one to overflow, but if it's okay if the 2-inch circle overflows. A little more resin so we get that nice dome-like look. If it's too thin, you'll get some dimples. All right, Gonna hit that with a torch real quick. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and resin our bottom piece. Now the big thing with the bottom piece, because we didn't glue it, we just want to make sure we get all the way up to the 2-inch piece. A big thing with doing resin, you just want to look all around it in different angles, because sometimes the light will show you places you missed that you can't see from a certain direction. All right, we're gonna hit that with our torch again. Let it sit a minute. A lot of times if you're having trouble with the little bitty micro bubbles, if you just let it sit for a second, those will kind of rise to the top, and then you can hit it with the torch again, and that usually gets rid of them. But if you're noticing a bunch of little micro bubbles, you're just curing too fast, and you just need to give it a little bit of time before you put it in the light. Alrighty, that looks good. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and cure this. We're gonna put our brush in there with it so it can cure, so it makes it easier to clean. We're gonna put our light over. A good helpful thing for your resin to cure and not be sticky after is to put a little foil over it, and what that does is just reflect the light back in. And so what we're going to do is cure this for 48 watts for 3 minutes. All right, so 60 seconds 3 times. You check that. That's a good way to test it before you touch your actual piece, and that's all cured. All right, all good, nice and beautiful. So this is a finished one. So pretty. Okay, so now let's go ahead and finish the other one. All right, so we're gonna go back to our glitter. That's nice coverage. All right, get the extra off. Go back to that, and let's go ahead and take, see the side right here? I got a little bit of Mod Podge on there. You can either scrape it off, or if you're able to with your fingernail. If not, you can use an X-acto knife and scrape it off that way. But it usually comes off pretty easy. There we go. All good. All right, we're gonna remove this backing paper. Now, when you remove this backing paper, a good way to know if your glitter is done, like your decoupage, is if it looks cloudy or not. This one's great, but if you notice that yours is cloudy, then you want to give it some time before you seal it or anything like that. But this one's good. So we can either do it that way, or we can do it that way. Which way do I want to do it? I think I'm going to do it this way so I don't have to do 2 coats of resin. Yeah, we're definitely going to do it that way. Okay. So that's going to go there. Let's go ahead and add our vinyl on this side. All right, same thing. We have our opal. And that's the same size, 1.9 inches, to go on a 2-inch circle. And same thing, those circles can be tricky, so just make sure you're careful with that. And then we're going to apply our S, or whatever initial you desire. One of my favorite things about this particular design of keychain is I really like to use the same vinyl for the back as the initial, because it really just ties it all in together. All right. So we got that. So 2 options here. We can use this and actually glue it, or we can do the same thing with the resin and just attach it, which that's so easy. I'm probably going to just stick with that. Anytime you're gluing it, just be aware that if you put too much glue or if this isn't dry all the way, you'll be able to see it. So you just want to make sure this is dry all the way and you don't put too much glue. But we're going to actually just attach it with the resin again. Actually, let me show you how to glue it. That way, if you don't want to resin it, you can see it done. Okay, let's go ahead and use our bead reamer. Where are you, bead reamer? Oh, here it is. Okay, we're going to use our bead reamer and go ahead and clean that hole up. All right. And then for the glue, this is a mixed media adhesive. We have this on the website. You don't need a lot at all. You just need a thin amount to tack it down. And you want to make sure your S, or whatever your initial is lined up correctly with the hole. And that's it. And then from here, you can resin it or you can leave it as is. If you resin it, it'd be the same way as we did the other one. So, just a recap of what we did today. Oh, let me take the brown paper off so it can look prettier. Okay. All right. So there's that one. The backing on this one is just gray for the printed and then the glitter for the circle. This one is our original one we did. This is that paisley vinyl. This is a purple opal, not a purple opal, a blue opal, and then a galaxy holographic glitter. This one is just the printed vinyl backing all the way across. And then this one is the black and white stripe floral roses, black and white stripe roses. And let me show you the backing on this one. This one has the transparent glitter backing. So this is the back of that one and then the front of that one. Okay, so here's 3 options. You don't have to resin if you don't want to. You totally can. It does give it a really good, nice high-end look, but total preference. So hope this helps you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Bye.